With almost 24 million subscribers, Smosh is one of the largest channels on YouTube. Recently, it was announced that Smosh's parent company, Defy Media, is actually shutting down. So now they're looking for somebody to buy up their media properties and continue them so they have, you know, paychecks and stuff. I thought I would take a look at what that new company might be buying. What does Smosh know how to do that other people on this planet don't know how to do? How can this group of like 6 people make these videos that constantly get millions and millions of views and end up on the trending tab? Actually, Noah, old Smosh was actually way better than new Smosh, and after Anthony left, I stopped. Yes. Yes. Nobody is arguing with you that the old Smosh was probably better than the new Smosh, but these companies grow and they expand beyond 2 people making videos for fun. Regardless of how great Smosh was back in the day, it's still a group of sketch comedians that have learned how to make sketches that dominate YouTube and have really figured out like the modern sketch comedy formula. My name is Noah Chrysler with whyitstrending.com, and in this video we're gonna take a look at the 6 different strategies that I believe Smosh uses every single time they make a sketch video that gets on the trending tab. If you think any of these strategies are interesting or helpful, make sure you hit that like button so that we can get some YouTube juice to send us on up to get recommended, because we need some views, because these take a long time to make, and I don't know if we can sustain it. Also, you might notice when you go through their content that they use a mix of each one of these strategies in different ways, and they combine them in different ways to make their content fresh and interesting, because that's really important when you're trying to make something funny. Okay, so the first strategy I wanted to talk about, I'm going to call base reality weird thing heightening. So when you watch a Smosh sketch, you might notice that they pick familiar situations that everybody kind of understands and might have been through before. High school dances, riding in an Uber, Black Friday shopping, Thanksgiving. They establish what's normal in the base reality. They basically say, here's a normal situation that happens from everyday life that you might have and you might identify with. And they do that really quick in like a line or 2. The next thing that happens is a weird thing happens, and something that sticks out from the base reality so that we know, hey, that's kind of weird. They then take that weird thing that happened and they make it worse by like heightening it and making it higher stakes, by doing something even crazier than the original crazy thing that follows the same pattern. This is a style of comedy that was developed by Del Close back in the day, and it's used at places like the Upright Citizens Brigade, which is an improv theater in New York City. It's basically a lot of the underlying comedy formulas of a lot of improv workshops and improv shows. If you want to know more about this formula and dig in deeper to this formula, you can read Truth in Comedy and the UCB Improv Manual. I read that book every year. It's really good. It's a good book, solid book, good book. It's a great book. So, some examples. So Smosh's most recent video that got on the trending tab was their every Black Friday ever video. In an early scene, we're introduced to these 2 parents, and we see these parents outside of a store on Black Friday. They're talking to each other.
You know, we are so lucky. We have our health, we have our family, and now we get to get gifts for everyone we love in our lives.
Then we pan down to their kid, and we realize that their kid is covered in Vaseline.
Billy, are you ready?
Why am I covered in Vaseline?
That is a strange thing, right? They explain that the kid is covered in Vaseline because he's supposed to be used to squeeze through the crowd and get to the gifts and stuff.
To cut down on crowd friction.
Now, we all have to make sacrifices, sweetie.
Ooh!
Then we see the kid squeezing through people and trying to like get to the store, and that is an example of heightening.
Where is it?
I couldn't find it, Dad. There weren't any.
What the hell is wrong with you?
The normal base reality is parents shopping with a son on Black Friday. The weird thing is that the son is covered in Vaseline, and the heightening is that the parents are going to scream and yell at the kid until he can perform his duty of cutting to the front of the line to get the gifts. That is the first comedy formula that I believe Smosh uses. The second one, number 2, is something that I want to call observational comedy. This is a pretty obvious strategy, but they use it a lot and it's really effective. So first, they pick a relatable subject matter that everyone has probably experienced before. It might be going to the grocery store, or going to the store on Black Friday, or going to a high school dance. Then they sit down and they come up with a list of observations of, qualities of that experience that they might have had. It's that idea of like relatable comedy. I hate having to argue with my family on Thanksgiving. We didn't argue, we played Parcheesi this year. No, we didn't play. We played Wits and Wagers and I actually won. It's pretty cool. Then they plug that observation into that formula that we talked about earlier as the weird thing. Some examples from the Every Black Friday Ever video, the part where they have a cell phone video of everybody climbing over each other for that Black Friday deal.
I need 14 of them! I need all of them!
That is an experience that we are all familiar with, and we know it's culturally understood that that happens. It might be the YouTuber Black Friday shopping haul concept that they had.
What's up, bohos? It's your girl Brianna, and today we're doing a Black Friday haul.
It might also be when Ian is on the couch and he's explaining that he's going to be looking for Cyber Monday deals instead of Black Friday deals this year.
Yo, I know Cyber Monday is easier, but don't you miss the rush you got back in the day from doing the Black Friday thing?
Not really.
So those observations are, number one, people will crowd over each other on Black Friday. Number two, there's going to be a lot of ditzy YouTubers that make Black Friday haul videos that are probably not going to be very good content. Number three, Black Friday is becoming less prominent and now people are kind of transitioning to Cyber Monday. They make this list of observations to make sure their comedy is like relevant and topical to you so that you kind of relate to it and you say, wow, that's kind of true. It also kind of gives them the opportunity to kind of say, okay, how does our organization feel about each one of these observations? So the YouTuber doing a Black Friday haul.
What is this?
It's all we could get. Maybe next time you could go by yourself?
You know I don't go near poor people. How dare you say that? Go get me something else.
Oh, that's a social commentary about YouTubers being these people that are disingenuous and they make low effort content. It kind of makes Smosh look kind of insightful. You might go, oh wow, these people are smart. They know what they're talking about. They stand for something. Are you guys in here? Oh, it's 4 p.m. I actually just got kicked out of this room a couple minutes ago, and so now today is the next day, and I decided to wear the same shirt so that you can't even notice. I probably should cut that part out, huh? The third strategy that Smosh uses when they make a sketch is this idea of these silly character games. If you're watching a Smosh sketch, you might see a character that is weird and has a weird trait, or they speak very aggressively, or they have a weird costume. Silly characters are funny, and we like to watch people that are ridiculous and act ridiculous, especially if that actor is doing such a good job and they are staying in character and they don't break.
This is a dry cleaners. We wash clothes.
What's wrong with you?
I
can't with that
Hey Shane,
shit.
you gotta commit, bro.
So Smosh uses crazy characters in a couple of different ways. Number one, they use them to make their base realities more interesting and more engaging. That weird character might not be a part of like the joke, but they use it to just give you a little mini joke so you don't lose interest for the whole sketch. They also sometimes use weird characters to heighten games.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Mommy didn't raise a quitter, so you better get back in there!
You know I don't go near poor people. How dare you say that? Go get me something else.
Trent! Fold those mugs!
Sorry, yes, sir! No!
That brings us to strategy number 4, callbacks. Smosh uses a lot of callbacks and they are really good at it. A callback is really simple and I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but basically it's a way to kind of remind the audience of something that they've seen before. I think callbacks work for the same reason that like inside jokes with your friends work. You know, you had to be there. They get laughs that show understanding, right? People laugh for a couple of different reasons, and one of those reasons is to show that they understand a joke. They set up a small inside joke that's a lot of times isn't very funny, and then later in the video they'll bring it back, they'll call it back, and they will hit that button again. Some examples from this video in particular.
No way. They have the official limited edition Phantom Menace Star Wars Jar Jar Binks back massager.
Go get Mommy a Jar Jar back massager.
Check out what I got. The hottest gift of the year.
Where are all the TVs?
And the Jar Jar Binks back massagers.
I just picked up the essentials. 3 of these Jar Jar Binks back massagers.
We're creating an inside joke with our audience, and that's fun. That's mutual understanding. That's a connection. That's somebody that will hopefully buy your t-shirt and interact with your brand and like your video and subscribe to your channel. Please do. Another example is when the mugs are folded so nicely.
Trent! Fold those mugs!
Sorry, yes, sir! Oh, wait, why did you buy 15 mugs?
I don't know. They were just folded so nicely.
Number 5 is misdirection. Basically, the reason why misdirection works is because it capitalizes on this idea that we laugh when we see things that are unexpected. What Smosh does is they will create a pattern, they will create an expectation, and then they will subvert that expectation with something that doesn't really fall into that pattern. When we see a pattern of information and we say, okay, information point 1, information point 2, if information point 3 is really weird, then that to us is funny. You might even see a misdirection that's like, this is weird, and then the third one might be, this is really normal. So an example of Smosh using misdirection, at the beginning of the video, we're shown this like hectic cell phone footage of these people climbing over each other on Black Friday, and then we're shown that that footage is actually a production that the manager of the store is putting on.
Wow! And cut!
Guys, that was perfect. Now all I have to do is leak this video online and my accidental overorder from 1999 will be a thing of the past.
Another example of misdirection used in this video is when Ian is sitting on the couch and he's looking up deals to get
3 new TVs for $200 each? Yes, please.
Hands off!
Oh, that's mine!
What the hell, man?
That's an example of misdirection. As the audience, we believe sitting at home and buying things on your phone on Black Friday is going to be much less violent than going to the store. And just kidding, it's gonna be more violent because these people are hired to beat up this guy. And number 6, the 6th most important thing that I think Smosh does in their videos is the use of non sequiturs and how they use those non sequiturs to break up their videos into tiny little micro sketches that form this 5-minute video. It kind of gives us a palate cleanse so that we can get on to the next sketch. Basically, the reason why I think they do this, it lets them be more competitive, like when they make sketches. They can make 10 little tiny sketch ideas that are very simple and like solid, quick, punchy jokes, and they don't have to write these like big 5-minute long sketches that like might fall flat. So some examples from the most recent video, I'll play a bunch of them right now. Here we go.
Yo, my cousin was trampled last year at Walmart.
Well, it's so busy here. Is this your mom's house?
It's Friday, Black Friday.
Oh my God, no! Shut up!
Okay, sweet. So that brings us to the conclusion. Why should you buy Smosh? Well, number 1, they have 24 million people that follow them, that know who they are, and that are probably pretty prepped and primed to go and buy the stuff that they make. There's probably some high expensive ads that you can run against their videos so that you can make some money if you're an investor. Also, they have figured out how to make comedy, and they figured out a bunch of ways to do that. The first strategy is base reality, weird thing, and then heightening. Number 2 is observational comedy. Number 3 is character games. Number 4 is the use of callbacks. Number 5 is the use of misdirection. And number 6 is the use of non sequiturs to break up those little sketches into one 5-minute punchy video that just gets millions of views and can climb to the top of the YouTube charts. I think that the Smosh team is really good at what they do. They have a huge audience, and I think somebody's gonna buy them really quick. And honestly, I think it should be you. If I had a couple $1 million lying around, I would buy them up immediately. Smosh, if you would like me to work for you, send me a message. Come on, post a comment. Guys, let me know what you think about every single one of the points that I made. If you disagree with anything, or if you think that I left anything out, post a comment, let me know. If you enjoyed this video or you learned anything, hit the like button. And hey, if you want to see more of our channel breakdowns, hit the subscribe button, because we are trying to make a community and we would love you to be a part of it. My name is Noah Chrysler with whyitstrending.com. Have a great day. Goodbye. Old Smosh is better.